Hello everyone, welcome to YouTube channel Vidya for Success. Dear students, in this video let us study the concept of secondary memory. Do we have to consider secondary memory for our computer? Is it very much necessary? Yes, of course it is very much necessary. The reason is primary memory can hold very small amount of data. Maybe in terms of let us say 8 GB. 8 GB is not a very large amount of memory. So if you want to store large bulk of data or a very huge mass of data, then you cannot depend on primary memory. So you need a secondary memory where you can store huge bulk of data. So that's why secondary memory is a very important component for any computer. These devices, secondary memory usually, they are very slow compared to the primary memory, but you can store large amount of data. And the data on secondary memory, storage memory, is not directly accessible. That is very important thing we need to understand here. So data may be present on hard disk, it may be present in CD, DVD, pen drive, whatever may be the device, secondary memory. But the data cannot be directly accessible for processing by the CPU. So the data present on secondary memory should be passed on to primary memory. From there it will be used by the CPU for processing. And the secondary memory, usually they are made out of either magnetic material or any optical readable devices. Okay. And secondary memory, they are not made out of semiconductor devices. Usually these secondary memories, they are made out of some magnetic mediums or else some optical readable devices. And the secondary memory is usually referred as auxiliary memory. Why they are referred as auxiliary memory? The reason is, if you want you can add the secondary memory, if you don't want you can remove it. Nothing but, for example, the content on a CD can be DVD. It is not what to say compulsion that always the CD should be present within the CD reader. No, pen drive, there is no compulsion that pen drive, always pen drive you need to connect the pen drive every time. No, whenever you want to read the data or else whenever you want to write the data, then you have to use that particular device. You can use it or else you can keep it away. You can disconnect it. So that's why the secondary memory, they are also referred as auxiliary memory. The information which is not currently being processed, usually they reside in the secondary memory, and the information which is needed by the CPU for current processing, which will be transferred from secondary memory to the primary memory, and from there it will be used by the CPU. And as we know already, secondary memory used for bulk storage, and that is nothing but mass storage of programs, data, instructions, lot of things, and it has much large capacity. So usually secondary memory will be 500 GB, 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, 5 terabyte, like that. Okay, so you can store large amount of data within secondary memory. So as you can notice over the screen, the secondary memory is classified further into three different varieties: magnetic, optical, and USB flash or pen drives. So in this video, let us concentrate only on magnetic storage mediums, that is hard disk, and another one is floppy disk. Hard disk. The most common physical device for storing files is the hard disk. So all the computers usually, not usually, they will be having hard disk so that you can store large amount of data within a computer. And the hard disk typically contains several rotating disk plates. As you can notice here, this is the first diagram. The first diagram, it gives us the clear picture regarding what will be there within a hard disk. Okay, so the outer cover has been removed. Within the hard disk, you can notice here there are too many plates, flats plates. Okay, so each plate will be having a separate read-write head. So one hard disk will be having numerous plates. It depends upon the storage ability of a particular hard disk. So as you can notice here, there are too many plates here, rotating plates. Each plate will be having separate read-write head. And all these plates, they are mounted on a central shaft. Please notice here in second diagram. So there will be a central shaft like structure. Onto this shaft, we will be mounting all these circular plates. Okay, so the hard disk typically contains several rotating disk plates which are permanently encased in a hard disk pack. So within a hard disk pack, within a hard disk drive, these separate plates, they are permanently encased, they are mounted. Okay, next, the surface of the plates are covered with a metal oxide. As you can notice here, there is a shiny surface here, and these plates, they are covered with a metal oxide. And you will be using separate read-write magnetic heads to read the data as well as to write the data onto these surfaces. And another important thing here is this particular central shaft, it rotates at a speed of 7,200 revolutions per minute, RPM. Okay, so this particular central shaft, it rotates at a speed of 7,200 RPM. Since the shaft is rotating, which will in turn rotate these circular plates, all the plates will also rotate at the same speed, that is 7,200 RPM. Further, these plates, each plate, they will be having numerous invisible concentric circles. Here they are indicated with the green lines, and they are referred as tracks. What is track? Tracks are nothing but numerous invisible concentric circle on a hard disk plate. They are referred as tracks. Further, the tracks are divided into numerous small areas. They are referred as sectors. Please notice here. Complete one plate, it is divided into numerous concentric circles. They are referred as tracks. Further, each track is divided into sectors. So, where are we going to store the data, or from where we are going to read the data? The data will be read or stored, written onto a particular sector. Okay, from a particular sector we will be reading or writing data. So, in order to read the data or to write the data, we have to perform a few things, or else it takes some time. So, here we will come across three important terminologies. So, among them, the first terminology is seek time. SEEK, seek time. So, what is seek time? Time to move the heads to the right track. What does it mean? Let us say, let us consider this particular cylinder here, complete hard disk pack here. Let us say in this second plate, hard disk plate, here in this particular second track, there is some data. Okay, so as you can notice here, this read-write head, it cannot move completely from this end to the another end of the hard disk. It can't move. Only it can cover only half of the distance. It can't go beyond that half distance. So, what in case if I want to read data present somewhere here, then what I have to do? I need to first of all bring the hard disk read-write head, which is available for each plate. It needs to be brought to a particular track first. So, the time taken to move the read-write head to a particular track is called as seek time. The data may be present in the first track, maybe second track, in any track. So, first of all, I should bring the read-write head to the particular track. So, that is referred as seek time. The time taken to move the track to a particular track is referred as seek time. After bringing the read-write head to a particular track, next what I have to do? I need to bring the sector towards that particular read-write head. Since the read-write head cannot move to another half of the hard disk, there is a limitation of its movement. So, if the data is present here, what I can do? After bringing the read-write head to a particular track, now I need to move the complete disk to this particular place. Nothing but I need to bring the complete sector to this particular read-write head, to the place of read-write head. So, it will take time. So, that time is referred as latency time. So, what is latency time? Time waiting for the sector to come around to the read-write head is called as latency time. Okay. So, since the read-write head cannot move cover another half of the hard disk area, so what need to be done? The sector should be brought to the read-write head. So, the time taken for this, for the sector to come around to the read-write head is called as latency time. So, once this is done, okay, seek time is over, latency time is over. The next one is referred as block transfer rate. As I already told you, data present within the secondary memory cannot be used for processing directly. It needs to be sent to the primary memory. So, what is latency? Block transfer time? The time taken to actually transfer the data. So, we will be transferring data from hard disk to the primary memory, what is the amount of time taken, drawn to move these data? So that is referred as block transfer time. So these three terminologies are very, very important. Okay, so this is how a hard disk is structured and it is going to work. So the complete numerous plates, they are encased within a hard disk drive, and you cannot take them out. Okay, and these hard disk plates, individual plates, they rotate at a speed of 7200 rpm. Okay, and each disk will be having a separate read write head. So usually the contents, the data can be read and written on both the sides, on both the surfaces of a particular plate. Okay, and each plate is coated with a metal oxide, and each plate will be having numerous invisible concentric circles called as tracks. The tracks are further divided into sectors. Floppy disk, another storage medium where you can store little bit a large amount of data, is called as a floppy disk. But nowadays this particular device, that is floppy disk, is out of existence. The reason is you cannot store large amount of data. So here this particular floppy disk contains a single flat piece of circular plastic coated with metal oxide. As you can notice here on the screen, an opened floppy disk device. Okay, so here you can notice here there is a plastic circular plate. So this particular plastic circular plate, it is coated with metal oxide, and after coating it with metal oxide, this particular plastic plate will be closed or else enclosed in a vinyl or plastic cover. Okay, this particular jacket like structure, it is made out of vinyl or plastic material, hard plastic material. So this circular plastic plate will be enclosed, it will be enclosed within this particular plastic cover. So this is the actual thing within the floppy disk. And this particular diskette, usually they are floppy disk are referred as diskettes. These diskettes are very small and you can carry them easily. They are portable. The three common sizes of these floppy disk are 3.5 inch, followed by 5.5 inch and 8 inch in diameters. Okay, so there are three different varieties. The first one is 3.5 inch, 3.5 inch, another one is 5/4 inch, another one is 8 inch in diameter. So these are the three different varieties. And in a 3.5 inch floppy drive, which was popular earlier, because then the pen drive concept was not there, CD was not there. So during those days, floppy disks were the ultimate treasure to store the data. So a floppy drive of 3.5 inch can store only 1.44 MB of data. Once again, I am telling you, a floppy drive of 3.5 inch diameter, it is having the ability to store only 1.44 MB of data, 1.44 megabyte of data. So this storage space is of no use. You cannot store even one good song, but you can store documents running in number of pages, that you can store it. But this floppy disk drive is of no use to store large amount of data. Nowadays we are having pen drive in which we can store 32 GB, 64 GB. So when 64 GB compared to just 1.44 MB megabyte is of no use. You cannot use it for large bulk storage. So that's why nowadays you won't find these floppy disks. And also another important aspect with floppy disk is it is not a very reliable storage medium. Nothing but the data stored in floppy disk. Okay, it may be working for few days. After few days, if you want to work, if you want to retrieve or you want to store it, then there will be problem of virus, or else you will not be able to retrieve the data from the floppy disk. So that's why they are referred as not a reliable storage mediums. So in this video, we have studied secondary storage device. Why we need secondary storage device? Because we want to store large amount of data that is not possible to store in primary memory. So that's why we need a dedicated storage component, that is referred as secondary memory. Secondary memories are of different types. The first one is hard disk, magnetic medium. So using magnetic medium will be storing the data. The first one is hard disk, another one is this floppy disk. So followed by that, another secondary storage is optical, another one is pen drive. We will study them in the next videos. Thank you.